Please. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so today, welcome, first of all, welcome and thank you for joining today's session. We have uh, we have one in person, we have a couple of in-person attendees, and we have one online attendee as well. Thank you so much for joining and attending this session. We are going to talk about optimizing with Agentforce, and this is for developer and admin. And this is going to be really useful because right now everyone is talking about Agentforce, and I just feel like it is going to be interesting topic for admins or developers or anyone who is trying to get into Salesforce AI field. So before we move forward, this is the forward-looking statements that tells you that the current market, you need to make the product decision based on the current products available in the market. And this is the standard forward-looking statement. So let's go forward. This is a little bit about myself. This is Amol Dikshit. I'm a Salesforce technical architect. I've presented a couple of sessions in Dreamforce, and I run the Stanford Developer Community Group, where we present multiple sessions, or like we do host multiple events, and some sessions are based on the particular topic, or sometimes we do meet and discuss about few new features, and sometimes we talk about new releases. So yeah, it's a fun group where we get together and talk about Salesforce, and also it's like a free knowledge sharing session too. And we also do give away some swags, such certification vouchers if it's available, and also snacks and coffee hour. We always host them. And I've also been part of Top Coder Coterie board member, wherein I've completed more than 100 projects. And this is my information. If you want to join, feel free to join me on LinkedIn. So let's talk about Agentforce agents, right? So we do have uh, different kinds of agents right now, and Agentforce is a pretty new concept because in the past we used to use the Einstein chatbots, but now we call them as Agentforce because Salesforce came up with um, this new features which is embedded with AI, and nowadays AI is the most hot topic everywhere. And yeah, so why not Salesforce get into that? And right now, if you see, we have different types of agents. Sorry, agents. First is like Agent Force Service Agents. Second is Einstein Copilot. Then third one is Agent Force SDR Agent, and fourth is Einstein Sales Coach. So the different agents have different capabilities, and we are going to explore them as part of it. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like, we have like different types of agent force. Example, like if you see service agents, they are mostly useful for our service people. Example, if you want to automate your service processes, example, creation of case or handling cases, or resolving customer inquiries, this is definitely useful. Then we have Einstein Copilot. Then we have Agent Force SDR agent and Sales Coach. We're going to talk about this in a little bit of detail when we move forward. But let's talk about agent actions. So as we see, Einstein with AI, it has like multiple features through which you can automate your overall customer experience. So we're going to talk about a specific experience here where we are going to create a booking process, and the booking is for a specific experience. So experience could be like if I want to go on a boating tour, or maybe I want to go to kayaking tour, right? So example, we have a travel agency, and the travel agency has multiple experiences. Example, as a just now as I said, it could be a boating, it could be a kayaking, or someone wants to just explore the places around, or someone wants to just explore the beach. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the information from the customer, and we're gonna identify the customer, and based on the identification, we are going to book the experience for him. So in order to do that, like I wanted to quickly show how admins can configure this experience and get the most out of it, and like within few details or within few just clicks, how can we automate the whole thing with the help of AI? So first of all, if you guys see the screen, so right now I am in the builder, and here on left hand side I'm just showing you like there is a thing called as like topic actions, and on right hand side you will see that we have a create agent action. So this action, what it tells me is first action is for getting the experience detail. So what it tells me is like if you create this action, on left hand side we have input section and on right hand side we have output section. Left hand side has the input, like what kind of input you want from your agent or your customer. Okay, so if you see the way I'm going to configure them is based on the instructions. So first of all, let's see the agent action instruction. It says that provide details about an experience that a user would like more information about. So if you give the accurate instructions, our Einstein AI is going to understand this instruction, and based on this instruction, is going to get into this particular action. So as soon as the customer gets in, we have given some instructions to our agent saying that this particular action is for providing the details about the experience. So now we're going to get the input from the customer. The input is experience name. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to ask him what kind of experience would you like to have. So the customer might say, I want to do a boat tour. I want to book a boat. So as soon as the customer says that, what we're going to do is our Einstein or like our action, it will go to an experience record. Right now, the experience is a custom object. You can use a standard object or whatever object you have, but if you just tell your Einstein that go to this experience object record to summarize for the user. So what it's going to do is it's going to go and get the information and like whatever details we have for that particular tour, boating tour. So the summarization could be like our boating tours runs across this particular locations. What are the timings? What are the details? So it's gonna get the experience record, and experience record might have the summarized information in one of those fields. So it's gonna get it and show it to the user. So this is like one of the actions, like first actions which we saw. The next action is going to be like validating the user. So if you see the agent action instructions are the most important part here. Like we are going to validate the customer details by passing their email and member number to see if it is a related contact. That means what we are doing is we're checking if this customer who's inquiring about this tour or experience is already available in the system or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask him for his email. That's my first input. My second input is member number. That says that member number of the customer that is validating the identity. So we're going to ask the member number, and as you see the output, says the contact that was written in the search for records. So what this action is going to do is it's going to ask, get the email, it's going to get the member number, and it's going to go and search the contact information. It's going to go to the contact. The contact is a standard object. So based on the information, it's going to go and get the contact for me. And that tells me that the customer is already present. Okay, so why do we do this? Because there could be multiple reasons. First reason could be if the customer found, then we're gonna use the same customer information to do the next actions. If not, we could even create a new contact and then associate the next actions. So this is the step. Now the next step is what we're gonna do is we're going to, as we found the contact information, we know the ID of the contact record. If we'd like to create the booking for, now we're going to ask more information about him. The information is how many guests do you want to book it for? And last one is like the session ID of the session record that would like to booking for a customer. So why do we need session records? Just for the tracking purposes, like how we got this booking. So this is what we're going to do. So left hand side is input, right hand side is output. The output is what we're going to do is based on this information, we are going to create a booking. And the booking has been created. The output message is we're going to show the output message saying that okay, your booking is confirmed, and whatever extra additional information you want to present on the screen. So I wanted to show you this is for the admins. like how admins can utilize these actions quickly with like few clicks or few texts and automate the overall booking experience. Now we don't really need an like an in-person or like a person over the call to get this information or create the booking. It can be like completely automated with the help of few clicks and like we just want to make sure that we just need to make sure that we give the proper instructions because instructions are the keys. If you give the accurate instructions, you will get the most and efficient results out of this AI tool called as Agentforce. So this was about the admin things, like how the admins can use it. But I have like few actions, like I have instructions, like because instructions are the most important part. As we create, we just now created the actions. Now we are going to create the instructions too. If you see here, uh, the instructions are most important part. So what we are saying is, if the customer is not known, you must always ask for their email address and membership number to get their contact record. By running the action, get customer details before running any other action. So now, if you see, I've given this instruction just like a novice user who doesn't know how to code, right? So what? But my AI is gonna interpret this particular text and it's gonna convert it to individual actions. Right now, if you see get customer details, that is my action. That is my custom flow which I have created. So what my AI is gonna do is, if my customer is not known, it's gonna ask the email address, membership number. Then it's gonna call this particular get the customer details flow, and he's gonna get the information off of it. So if you see here, we don't really need to do anything, just provide the instruction to the bot, and that's it. It's going to give you all the information details, and it's going to automate the whole thing. So this is the beautification of the AI. I want to show you like third instruction. If you see, I'm telling them like convert the date to YY or this specific format before using it for the guest session, because this particular method needs the date in specific format. And imagine if the user give the date in different formats, you don't want to have the errors. So we are telling our AI bot or AI agent force saying that if you receive a different format, always make sure you correct it in this format, like or convert it in this format. So I don't want to go more into these details, but okay, let's just move forward right now. We have like Agentforce for developers now. We talked about like admins and like how that can be useful. And now we are going to talk about the Agentforce for developers. The first is like Dev Assistant with the help of convenience slash commands. We can give like, have you guys used the I mean, I'm sure you guys must have used the Visual VS Code. Visual VS Code has an extension which you can use. Initially, it was like Einstein for developers, but now it should be calling the Agent Force for developers. So it has like a dev assistant. So what you can do is with the help of few commands, you can get the more details. Example, right? If you want to get a particular explanation of specific code, you can just put the code and say, okay, explain this to me. And a dev assistant is going to do that. I'm going to show this to you how it's going to be done. And then we have like command palettes. We can use agent for generate code command in the VS Code. That will you can just ask the question and what you want to do, and it's going to answer you just like your OpenAI ChatGPT does. Then we have like inline code completions. As you type the information, data infos for developers, what it does is it like suggests the code completions without even interrupting your workflow. So like it's an example, right? If you want to instantiate a variable, so it's going to do the next action. It's going to just understand okay what you might be trying to do, and based on that, it's going to auto complete your code. I've seen that it is definitely useful sometimes because you don't have to remember everything and like example right all the syntaxes and also the logic too. It is building the logic for you as well because based on your existing code, it analyzes and it understands what you're trying to achieve. Next thing is like test case generations for Apex. So if you're a developer, I know like writing a test cases or like test classes is definitely a little bit troublesome and like no one wants to do it. But now we have Agentforce. It's gonna write test classes for you just as easily as possible. So as I talked to you about the dev assistant, this is how it's gonna work. This is a small demo which I have right now. So if you see here, what I'm doing is I'm going to ask, like, please explain the code to me. On the right hand side, I have a code, and I'm asking my dev assistant, please explain this code to me. And that's what my agent first did. It just explained me the code, what is exactly is doing. So in like no wise user's term. Similarly, we have different things like we have tests, we have a document. It has different purposes. But if you see here, just with the help of one command, it's giving me the summarization of this whole code. You don't have to read the whole code. You know what I mean? The next thing is we have like inline auto completions. So as I was just saying to you, right now I just wrote select ID. This is my SOQL query. It literally completed me everything. So if you want to accept a specific word, or if you want to accept the whole thing, you will be able to do it. And this is like very, very useful because if you're writing code, you don't want to remember the whole syntax or field names. It's going to do it for you. Then the next thing we have is test case generations. So you can generate the test cases or test case. Right now, that's what I'm doing here. What I'm doing is I'm asking, and I just use test generate test case command. I'm telling them what method to use. And as soon as I select the method and I click on OK, it's going to generate a test case for me. Just now, your test case is ready here. That's it. Like, you don't have to do a lot of stuff. Just click on generate a test, select the class, select the method, and you're all there. I mean, it might not give you the exact details that you want. If you want to update the method, you can definitely do it, but you have the baseline for sure through which you can move forward. And then there are some prompt writing tips which I want to give you because these are very important because the AI is all about the prompt writing. Like just always mention what kind of action you want to do, the task you want the AI to accomplish, and always write the context details. Like the more accurate information you provide, the more or the efficient or the best AI or agent force is going to become. And there are some best practices like you can always tell them like what kind of security and formatting best practices you need to use. Like use this date format. Like if you, before you're doing this, before do that. So you can give this best practice instructions as well, and like always do that. And we also have like some additional context if you have anything which you think AI can use it. It's always good. Just don't make the agent force confused because the more confusing statements you're gonna use, the less accurate results you're gonna get. So these are some of the prompt writing tricks because prompt writing is the most important part. These are some known issues. Example, like the incorrect spacing between the words. Sometimes that happens. If you use the slash explain, it explains everything, whatever you have in active editor, because it doesn't care what selection you have right now. But eventually, we're gonna add this feature. Next thing is, even if you have multiple tabs open in IDE, Agentforce consider the context of the active tab. So just make sure whatever tabs you have, the current tab will have the most priority, and that's where the context is. And Agentforce occasionally generates a code or metadata that you don't have locally. So that is a possibility. And it can generate a more accurate and higher quality Apex code compared to other responses. With continued fine efforts, we expect the model to iteratively serve better responses for other request type too. So right now, these are some of the known issues. And yeah, I would like to move ahead with the questions if you guys have any. Or if you don't have any questions right now, we can even have those questions while we have the coffee. We're gonna have coffee or breakfast after this, so we can even have the discussion over there. Okay, so with this note, I would like to say thank you and thank you so much for joining this session, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna stop the recording, and if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and ask me.
Okay, I'm also